Okay, so today on part two of what's going on in our solar system, what we're going to do is take a look at some images from the SETI site, link below, SETI, Navy, military, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, you can go in there and actually go and find these images that we're looking at today. Today we're going to be focusing a lot on H1 SREM. And the first thing, the main thing that we're looking at, you know, guys, there's like a spaceship there. You can go look at that today yourself if you want to. But anyway, this occluded area, or this what they call baffle area, May 10th through the 20th, a object was next to, we're going to show you in this video, was right next to this baffle, which we actually think there is something else behind this baffle. Actually shows it exploding. I'll show you the clip right here, and then we'll get into our study of it. So this is just more of what we think might be causing a debris field, potentially could be causing a dangerous asteroid field. And the reason I'm thinking this is important to know about is because if you look at the close Earth approaches, we got another zinger today, guys. Here's 2016. Yesterday we got missed by 58,000 miles or whatever it was. And then today, here's another one. First observation used was on 8/28. They didn't list it, by the way, until today. And the last observation used was 8:30. There's 28 observations. They are very unsure of if it's, very unsure of where it's going to go. And the reason I wanted you to look at all of this, there could be some debris coming from what we're going to show you today. And so I think it's just something to be aware of. Heads up. Okay? I hope you enjoy the video. So let's just walk through it. Can you see this okay?
Oh, I'm loving
So
this.
I'm
Yeah,
recording this, Wayne, so I'm just going to tell everybody that we're taking a close look at the May 10th through 20th incident where the baffle from a telescope seemed to make something explode. So now we're looking at a high gamma filter right now, and that's what we're doing. And that big ball there's supposed to be Jupiter. Isn't this fun?
right there, right there. Look at there. Look at the light shift. We're getting a red shift of light. First I saw there we're getting a reaction. Plasma.
Yeah,
That's what we're seeing. We're seeing plasma.
and here's the gamma adjust you can see at 4, right? You know what? Screw you, man.
Look at that. Oh, Steve. Okay, so that's about, I got 4.3 seconds.
Yeah, but remember, these are this is time-lapse photography over the time.
Right. So let's do the math. So if I'm getting about 4.3 seconds in our time, these are what, frames at 10-minute intervals?
These are frames at actually day intervals. So 2 frames per day, or 3 frames per day, rather.
Holy crap. Steve, this was a huge event.
I know. Why didn't any of our amateur astronomers?
That's my point. What? So are you telling me that no one on Earth picked this up? Come on, all you astronomers out there, all you, and you know who I'm talking to, look at this. Do the measurements on this. And let's start putting the math on this. Steve, this was a huge explosion. This was not something that was just, wow.
Yeah, right. All right, so let's look at it again. Let me get us a nicer view of it.
Question immediately comes into mind. What would be the impact of 2 celestial objects moving in space Would this not throw off a debris field?
Right. Now, what looked like an explosion hit of two solid objects hitting each other was actually plasma reactions, as we can see as I slow these.
Look at that. Look at that.
Plasma beam.
That is exactly what that is.
And what's really disappointing about that, makes me want to just erase it right now, and do this, is I'm always getting messed with. There's that plasma beam.
Right there. Look at that. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, come on, help us do the math on this. Look at this. Look at this. This is no lens flare. Steve Olson, look at that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to hold steady here.
Right there, right there. Do you see that? Look at that. That's a cloud.
Yeah, it's not like a planet exploded. It's like a discharge, a great discharge of energy was suspended that seemed to, like, remember when Enki got blown up by the sun?
Yeah. Okay, so part of the theory of the electric universe, and I'm thinking of the Thunderbolts project. In fact, I just rewatched their video, The Ancient Sky. Is it possible that what we're seeing here, thank you, I'm glad we're getting color in here. Is it possible, Steve, that what we're seeing is two planetary objects passing each other, and this is the resulting discharge of plasma, and this is what the camera is picking up, this discharge? Look at that. I say yes.
So that's supposed to be Jupiter, by the way. And remember, these are moons. I do believe these are the moons.
Yeah, I think we are. I think we're catching the moons. Yeah, that would just make sense.
Yeah, that's Jupiter. Yeah, it's got moons, man. Lots of them. Like,
yep.
40, right?
Yep.
44 moons or something like that.
Something like that. All right, so what is Jupiter? Look at and
this color just makes it more fascinating.
It does.
Just push that saturation up in the gamma. Oh, look at the face. Do you see the face?
Yes, I do.
Oh, what's this thing over here? It's like a spaceship. Are you seeing this?
I'm seeing it.
Hey, look, there's Enki. Hey, woo, woo!
Look at this. Look at that. That's plasma. That's plasma.
Yeah, it's plasma. And see, it's like there's all of a sudden there's a second. That's this apparent cloud.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, and then you can see the plasma beam go back in here, and you can see
certainly
back in here.
Look at that. It's in fact it's impacting both sides of this baffle.
I feel like data or like the old Star Trek. Go in, yes, computer.
Well, I mean, these are great tools, but they're primitive in the fact that we're having to pixelate out to such degrees, but this is the only way you can actually examine this.
Oh, there he is. Okay. This is where we were with the explosion. Okay. Remember that?
Yep.
which was really, I think, to your point, Wayne, and I have to agree with you, was a plasma discharge.
Well, it answers so much. There we go. And look at it.
Look at the cloud. Look at the cloud, though.
Well, would that not be visible? I mean, think about it. It just had a huge, and there it goes. And we're all back to normal.
Cruising through space in a really fun way.
Okay, well, I'm just going to expound my opinion on this. I think that finally what I believe we're seeing is a plasma reaction by two planetary, or let me say celestial objects in close proximity to each other. Look at that.
And I'll just play it.
So I wonder if Juno caught any of this on its little trek to Jupiter. It had to have caught this. We'll never see those photos.
Remember how you were like, I think I remember during this time you were talking about, hey, Steve, have you seen anything with Juno yet? I'm like, no way, no. I haven't.
Well, I keep seeing this, and I'm going, well, come on. You know, Steve, you and I have talked about this. I'm telling you, I am more and more convinced that they purposely put this baffle device to cover a region of space because they're covering the Milky Way, Steve. I mean, come on, there's no sun over there. There's nothing bright enough to ever have to escape the sky. And I am betting you, my friend, a steak dinner. I almost bet you there's another camera that's getting a view in this region of space because they know something. And Steve, why don't you tell your subscribers and the audience what we discovered a couple of minutes ago?
Well,
this camera is sitting where?
Oh, in terms of the solar system? Yep.
Yeah.
Show you here. Let me show you. So this is the big discovery that we made. So in order to get the view that we're getting from the Secchi H1 image, okay, and let me give you an example of one here. I thought I had one up.
You did. There you go.
Right there. Okay. So in order for you to see the orientation of Venus to be here, Mercury to be here, and Earth to be here, and notice how they never really ever show the sun. We only see the eject off the sun.
Because it was designed, that's why it's positioned there.
It's supposed to be looking at the planets and the coronal discharge of the heliosphere or whatever. Anyway. So, right? So, but if you look at stereo, that you'd think, well, hey, sure, it's looking at Jupiter and Saturn from A and B right here, right?
Yep. That's what they told us.
But in order to get that orientation on the camera, and here's the solar system scope in realistic mode, this is approximately where this thing is, right? In order to get Venus up that high in the camera like that, it would have to be way south of the ecliptic, like here. See what I'm saying, Wayne?
And that, I believe, to me, you have given me more information that I now understand where these two satellites are sitting. Steve, seriously, I really did think that they were on the same ecliptic view of the Earth. That's what I've been told. That's how you get your view out there. No, folks, this thing is sitting south of the ecliptic and looking up. Now, that's just, I find, just absolutely amazing.
As do I.
Everything we keep hearing is that that surrounds Nibiru, Nemesis, the destroyer, whatever you want to call it, is that it comes out of the southern ecliptic. And look at this. We've got two satellites that are sitting in the southern ecliptic.
and the positioning of them are opposite of the sun. They're over here in the same orbit of Earth,
Yep.
where my pointer is,
Yep.
sitting way south of the ecliptic.
I did not know that, Steve. Well, so let's get back to the point here.
There's Virgo, and here's Jupiter on. Yeah, so remember we saw this action over here and this
Yes,
action
we did. Well, Steve, I guess now I've become much more convinced about what this mystery is. But yet it asks another question. What was the reaction that this original video that was sent to us, what was it that Jupiter was reacting to?
Well, again, we don't know.
We don't.
This is Jupiter on May 10th approaching this object, which then became this image. Okay. And
right there, look at that.
Yeah, we changed the gamma. Now, if you just looked at it like that, you would have not seen any of those features that we saw, which I think is fascinating too. Just to have a few basic rudimentary tools making a big difference.
And the fact that we have to understand as well from the perspective is that, number one, that this is not a short-term event. This was a multi-day event, correct? At least what I'm looking at, this had to be at least a 5 or 6, 7-day event.
Yeah, and all I'm doing is just showing you the first day, Wayne, just to confirm.
Yeah.
Here's the Sechi image. Here's the Sechi May 10th SRAM. And then here's the movie that we got, starting point, from the subscriber that recorded this for us. And then put it vertical just to make it, just because all my subscribers have their tongue solidly in their cheek.
Well, I just can't thank the person who sent this enough. Thank you. I learned a great deal tonight, Steve. A much more understanding about what we're seeing here. This is days, folks. And what I don't understand, Steve, is why no astronomer on planet Earth saw this. Maybe we could put the request out there for any amateur astronomer worldwide that if you have pictures of what was date on this specifically?
This actually was May 10th through
May 10th.
The 20th. Yeah.
Does anyone have any pictures from Jupiter of some sort of event taking place near or by this planet? Because, Steve, if we could get collaborating pictures, I think it's telling us something. Then the next question is, what was it?
Well, we've got pictures of what's behind this big occlusion. It's a big, looks like a huge plasma unit. I mean, I was looking at it earlier today, the work that you did on it earlier. I mean, we broke it down that it was actually two objects, or
yep.
What appeared to be two objects in a field of intense energy that was distorting the whole field of that,
Yep.
And I'll just for fun, I'll show you what's really behind there. And they seem to want to cover it up. And I know I get a lot of crap from my friends over at Astronomy Club or whatever the hell he's got going on over there.
The following comment is not a review of management.
I have like the same bias as my dad. If he doesn't like something or whatever, he just kind of trails off. Like, yeah, whatever.
Well, hey, listen, they really tried to give us a wedgie over there. But the question comes back to, guys, all right, and all's fair in love and war. So here's the challenge, astronomy.com. Please explain to us what we're seeing here, because this is obviously a plasma reaction. I don't think it's an explosion. What I think it is the reaction of two, again, celestial bodies passing each other in very close proximity, and I'm just theorizing, that had a polarized field that they crossed each other and they weren't conducive to each other's company.
Well, again, if somebody can take the baffle off during that time period between 5:10 and 5:20, so we can actually get a nice clear view of it, like we got in August, and then they started taking the baffles off everything in that date range because they thought we'd go away. Well, I want to see the same thing here.
By the way, Steve, the picture on the left. So remember, we got it really hard. That why they did that was to obscure, because it was very bright over there. Well, come on. I'm looking at the freaking Milky Way here. You know what I'm saying, Jack? So what's brighter over there that's not over there?
Well, I want to see what's behind this thing when this happens on May 10th to the 20th. I want to see what that. I want to see this view of it.
Well, there's something going on behind there. You know, I feel like I'm at the wizard's chair and Toto's pulling on the curtain. I want to see what's behind here. Because obviously this is where all the action is at.
Yeah, man. Okay, I just wanted to do a quick interruption of this long format program to remind everybody that by popular demand, the WSO founding member program, which we did earlier in the month, has been extended until September 1st. And we've been raising funds and been able to actually accelerate the building of our website, which actually is going to be a content explorer. We'll explain it more when we do the rollout. But anybody that wants to participate with us will be able to explode content out through the WSO network, and it will help WSO to get way broader coverage, and it's a pretty cool thing. And when we introduce it, I'll be sharing that with you. Obviously, we're doing the video analysis and production from all around the world. We're doing the research, partnership with subscribers, etc. Our ham radio station is almost completed, our base station in Dallas. So we've been using the funds for me to make a living, and then also these projects. But what I wanted to get into a little bit about the WSO founding member program today is to say, just thank you to everybody that's been helping so far. Okay, so at this one, this is from the 29th, and this is one of the observation stations, FAA cams in Canada. And what was interesting about this is what I did was I stacked all the photos on top of each other and then changed so that there was opacity so you could see what happened over a period of time. And it really is a neat technique because it showed me a couple things that I wasn't seeing in the single photographs in the time lapse. First of all, you'll notice that we're getting some type of there's light or some type of energy coming from this direction onto these surfaces, okay? And then number two, as I kind of swing in on here, you'll see this second light source, and then of course the interesting and most obvious thing, which is this planetary body or whatever traveling with the sun, and that's not a lens flare there, so it's pretty interesting, right? Let's go here and go up a little bit and just zoom in on that so you can see how interesting that is. And that was yesterday over a period of like a half an hour, something like that. Okay?